This is Cam's Green Light. Say no more, say less. The brand, and of course, in the midst of quarantine, we got a special guest here. Of course, we can't do it live. Unfortunately, we gotta because of social distancing, and we stay on two different sides of the city. But hey, better on the Zoom. Or, just we still making a way. We still getting it popping. So, with that being said. I want to introduce y'all to my boy. I can freestyle off the top of the head, but I wanted to make sure that I give him a proper introduction the way that he should be, brought into the green light. So this is John Patrick, a Nigerian American artist, songwriter, world changer, is dedicated to spreading a message of limitless love through music, media, and education. So, my boy John Patrick, aka Johnny P, what's good, my boy?
What's really groovy? How you doing?
Bro, can't complain, bro. Just living life, always on the go, always on the move. You already know how to say no more. Get down and just opening up a new business. We got the nonprofit popping. We got the LLC popping. So we grooving right now, man.
Facts. That's
Yeah.
I feel like that's what this year been about. It's been
Mm.
about like, okay, now you don't have no excuses. What you gonna do? What
Yep.
you gonna do when you don't have no excuses, no distractions? What you gonna do? So I'm glad you on that wave. You on the
Yep.
right wave.
Yeah, man, and so many people was like, I'm feeling discouraged because it's a pandemic outside and everything going on in the world. It's like, bro, this is a blessing right now for everybody that's an entrepreneur or just trying to get it. And man, it really show your character by what you are putting out and what you're doing within this time frame, man. So, bro, it's a blessing, absolutely. So
Facts.
with that being said, man, what's going on with you? How are you? What you got going?
I'm blessed. I gotta stay blessed. And I say that because I mean, like we said, it's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? So for me to still be able to even get on a computer, you know what I'm saying? Even you know what I'm saying, have the things that I have, what can I really complain about? So I'm blessed. I'm that's my answer. I'm blessed. I feel blessed, and
Mm,
that don't mean everything going good.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That don't mean ooh I'm blessed. Ooh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even like that. It's just like even through the bad, like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I know I'm still blessed. So I'm not gonna give a response like, man, I feel down right now because it really don't matter how I'm feeling. That changes. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Overall, I'm blessed. So
absolutely. And man, that
yeah,
kind of remind me of the book of James. In James 1, it talks about even though through various trials count it all joy. So
yeah,
being joyful even though you have a trial in your life. So man, that's
facts,
that's what I get
facts.
from that, bro. That is a blessing within itself. Say less. Okay,
And
man.
you know that's real joy. You know that's real joy. Like
Hey.
you ain't never tested your joy if everything is always good. Then that's
Mm,
not joy. That's just a reflection of what's happening. But when things are not good, you know what I'm saying, to be able to see the other side and still smile through it, that's when you have real joy. They say you don't know peace until you in chaos.
mm,
You don't know hate. You don't know love until you in the midst of hate. You know what I'm saying? So you can't when things start crumbling, if you start switching then that it wasn't real. You know what I'm saying? It
mm-hmm.
wasn't real.
Yeah.
So it's when the crumble happen. It's when the trials happen. That's when the real things get exposed. 2020. You feel me?
Bro, you
The
ain't
real's
saying no
getting
lies.
exposed.
No lies, bro. I see no lies in what you saying, bro. That's all truth. Man. So for the people that don't know you, for the listeners that are new to the show, and just for in general new to you, um, let's get into your story. Let's give them something of who is John Patrick. Who is Johnny P? Who is that swaggy Nigerian from A Leaf? That swaggy Nigerian from PV. Like let them know exactly into your world and kind of see your upbringing of how you came to be who you are now.
I think it's so crazy because like people, human beings, we don't really know who we are. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like until we know. You know what I'm saying? Because like as you growing up, you are what everybody tell you you are, at
Mm.
least in your head. You know what I'm saying? If somebody say you dumb, you start feeling like, well, I didn't know that, and I don't
Mhm.
know this, and I do bad on tests, must be dumb. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Or the opposite, you smart or you funny or like we get our identity from what other people perceive us as. You know what I'm saying? But however, nobody know who you really is like by yourself when you in that room by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy to hear that question like, who are you or what's your story? Because it's it's really two different sides of it. It's the side that everybody else sees, and
Mhm.
it's the side that's really going on the inside. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
a little synopsis of both. Parents are immigrants. They came to America not together, but they came to America separately. Of course, they came from Nigeria, so they came here expecting a lot. They came here expecting to be able to be financially free, to be able to help their family back home, to find jobs, education, opportunity, and in the 80s, 90s, they did find that. And they had me and my siblings. There's five. It's five total siblings. They had five kids. Um, so we grew up. They most Nigerians was in Houston in the same area, like
Yeah.
Ailey, Southwest. You know what I'm saying? Missouri City, just this same area. Because I mean, you go to a different country, you're not necessarily majority people not just gonna go somewhere where they don't know anybody. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So they congregated and growing up, I grew up with the Ailey Nigerians in the Southwest Nigerians. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I'm talking about every event. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if God just blessed me with a certain type of memory. I like remembered them. Like I
Mm.
remember, like some of them don't will not recognize me to this day.
Mm.
And I remember them. I'm gonna be like, we went to church together, or we used to
Mhm.
always like see each other at like the parties and the celebrations, and so that was like my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? I'm in A-Leaf, so I'm getting the full culture of A-Leaf, but at the same time at home and my personal community is Nigerian. So
Mm.
growing up, I always had both. I didn't necessarily have authentic of either though. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because I'm not in Nigeria. I only went to Nigeria when I was young once. I was 6 years old.
Mhm.
And then I'm not really and not considered either black
Mm.
American. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really considered American, and then Nigerians still seeing me. They see me as American. America see me as Nigerian.
Mm.
So I grew up in the middle of that and actually getting the best of both instead of the worst of both.
Mm.
So I was shielded from the worst of what average, I'll say, an average Black American had to deal with. And I was also shielded from the struggles of a Nigerian or an immigrant. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I didn't have to. I didn't have to. I said immigrate. I didn't have to. Yeah, immigrate. I didn't have to come to America. I was born here.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I didn't have to deal with the necessary the suffering or the typical um the typical environment of a black American. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because the Nigerians that came to America, they were on their biggest thing was we don't want to be like the black Americans because they don't look like they're succeeding.
Mm.
Keyword look like. And that's what the media puts out. People got to understand the media is not only directed towards Americans, it's directed towards the whole world.
Mm.
So before they get here, they already see every single negative stereotype about Black Americans. So when they get here, they're like, these white Americans are doing it this way. These Asian Americans are doing it this way. Why are those people doing it that way? This seems like the right way to go. So I'm going to separate myself and do what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
I didn't even realize all of this till I got older, till like recently. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm
Yeah.
able to say that now. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, I don't know what's going on. I'm just growing up. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm suffering. I'm thinking like this is suffering. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, like my other friends is really suffering. My American friends is really suffering. You know what I'm saying? So, I took all of that. My mom was a gospel singer, so we
Mm,
always was in different churches. And I took all of that, and it molded me to the person that I was becoming, the man that I was becoming. All of those things was my foundation. And through that, I got into like certain situations that because of my upbringing, you would expect me not to be in. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that I've been very vocal about, now that it's behind me, is getting in trouble to the point where I'm dealing with felonies. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Like like real federal cases. Like, this is not a joke. This is not something that you just go to court one day and then you come out. Like, it was real. And for me, a GT student, you know what I'm saying, a shielded student that actually moved from A to the suburbs of Richmond. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, how did you end up here? You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
And God worked in mysterious ways. Clearly it was meant to be. But that upbringing, it molded me literally to who I am. So now I can literally be in any type of environment. You
mm,
can drop me anywhere because I went to school. I ended up going to high school at a majority white high school. But
mm-hmm,
I came from A-Leaf. I spent the majority of my upbringing in A-Leaf, which was black,
mm-hmm,
Hispanics, Asians. You know
mm-hmm,
what I'm saying? And those three are not. It's not like, oh, black stay over here, Hispanic stay over here, Asian stay over here. Nah, my friends was black, Hispanic, and Asian. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? Like, we didn't see a color like that until you had your like black versus Mexican fights,
mm-hmm.
and then it's just like I'm forced to fight somebody that I'm normally in class with, chilling, laughing
Yeah,
with,
we
but
homies.
I don't know. I don't know how that happened. Y'all had that too, right?
Yeah, nah. I mean, of course,
Black versus Mexican fight.
yeah, it was always that. Like, of course, bro. We both grew up in A Leaf, so it's like, it was literally. I remember my freshman year at high school, bro. There was early in the morning before first period. It was a big brawl between blacks and
Facts,
Latinos, and it was like, for what reason I don't know, but it used to be like
facts,
that. And there would be times where people would be like, "Hey, let's go fight for whatever reason," and be like, why? Like, we cool any other day, but like, because of this, it's so it made no sense, honestly. So, man, I
facts.
you,
And you will understand. You will understand. My bad. You will understand. And A-Leaf, the culture. I don't know how it is necessarily now because I'm a teacher now, so I don't see the student side.
mm,
But the culture in A-Leaf when we was growing up is you solve everything through a fight.
mm-hmm,
It's scrap. It's squabble. It's what's up then? Hop out there. Like, that is the lingo to solve any issue. Like, and it can be on site. Y'all could be playing a video game, happy, laughing. Say one thing, somebody's like, hop out there then. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to play me.
yeah,
And then if you one of them people that like me, I used to tell everybody I'm a lover, not a fighter.
mm-hmm,
Then they call you scary. You scary. And I
mm-hmm,
remember being in elementary school and somebody called me scary. And I ain't understand the lingo because I'm like, I'm scary? Like, I'm scaring y'all?
mm,
And then they was like, no, you scary. Like, you acting scary. Like, you acting like you scared. And I'm like, so why are you calling me scary? Like,
yeah,
don't scare me. You the one. You know what I'm saying? So
mm-hmm,
it was stuff like that. But I got into a lot of fights because I had a slick mouth
mm-hmm,
and I just felt like you wasn't just gonna just beat me up. Like, you
mm,
might win the fight, I might win the fight, but I'm still willing to fight. You know what I'm saying? So I got into a lot of fights, and it was
mm-hmm,
so different when I went to when I moved out to Richmond. It was
mm-hmm.
so different. Like, people fought, but in Haley feels like you could fight your friends. Like,
And be right
you
back
like
cool.
slap boxing was a sport.
It was normal.
Slap boxing was a sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we had slap boxing Olympics, like, people in A-League would be like going hard in that because slap boxing like was a sport. You know what I'm saying? Fighting is just it's just a way to, like, I don't know, prove yourself. So all of this just was, and then but at the same time I'm in a church every Sunday, every Tuesday, and I'm going with my mom to choir practices as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the church. However, at the same time, I'm doing what I gotta do while in A Leaf. You know what I'm saying? Moved out of A Leaf. My right before ninth grade year, I was supposed to go to Taylor. I was so hurt because since the fifth grade, I wanted to go to Taylor, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't know how it feels on draft day. You know, but
Mm-hmm.
but they don't know how it feels on draft day
Yeah.
to go and read your name at the school you want to go to. Like that's the best feeling.
Yeah.
So I got Taylor. I got Taylor. I was supposed to go to Taylor. And a week before high school started, we moved out to Richmond. I cried. I cried. Everybody in my family was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was just like, "I don't want to leave. Like, I don't care that it's seven of us in a 3 bedroom. That's
Mm-hmm.
cool with me. Like, we've been making it work so far. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so that's what happened. I moved out to Richmond, and I started. It was a lot of resentment in me. There was a lot of resentment in me. And I always was fighting my family because I always feel like they took that from me, and I felt like everybody was a part of it. I felt like it was me against the world. Then my friends in A Leaf started treating me like, oh, you moved, you think you're better, you know what I'm saying? And then the people out here in Richmond started treating me like, oh, you from A Leaf, oh, you from A Leaf. So my whole life I've always found myself in that middle field, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it forced me to get more in terms with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was gonna say about like identities. You could look at me and probably say you say something like swaggy, Nigerian, you know what I'm saying? To me, like personally, I feel like I always struggle with my fashion side. You know what I'm saying? Somehow I always seem to pull it off in the last second, but I've always struggled in that. Like I never felt strong in that. But people would tell me like, I love the way you dress, or that's live what you got on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you don't even know. Like I switched outfits like 10 times before I left the house. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like internally, I didn't find myself till recently. I want to say I'm still finding myself. Honestly, I'm
Mm-hmm.
still finding myself. But um, but externally, people know me as that funny guy, that rapper, that outgoing, that social butterfly, um, um, hot head at times. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the lover boy, people know me as that, and these things are all me in it, and that's why I like because some people know me as Johnny P. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because that was my stage name. My godbrother gave me that name in the 8th grade, and I've been running with it since.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started really finding myself, and it was this year around all this time when I started really finding myself, I said, "Who am I?" You know what I'm saying? Like I had to tell myself, like, "Who are you?" And it was like Johnny P, Sam Boone Kid, Johnny Love, um, all these things was things that I created. You know what I'm saying? Things that I created to fit how I wanted people to see me as, or
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, a character. I've always been able to morph into a character and play the role. You know what I'm saying? I've always been acting since I was a kid, so I always been able to morph into that character and be that person.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized like my parents gave me a name, and not only that, they gave me a unique name. Like it's not too many people with two first names. You know what I'm saying? And it's hyphenated. All my life growing up, I always hated my name. Always hated
Mm-hmm.
my name. It was always too long to write on filling out forms. It was always too much to explain to people. I always used to get in trouble in school because my teachers would call me John. And like one thing my dad stuck into my head is that your name is not John. Like there is a John in our family, and that's not you. You know what I'm saying? You're John Patrick. And so I used to just tell the teachers, just call me JP. And they're like, I'm not calling you by no nickname. I'm gonna call you by your name. I'm like, okay, well my name is John Patrick. If you call me John, I'm not going to respond. And
Mm-hmm.
so they'll say, okay, I'm calling you John Patrick, John Patrick. After a week, they like tired of saying because they gotta say my name a lot. They gotta say my name a lot because I'm
Mm-hmm.
acting up.
Yeah.
So they just go to JP, and when they go to JP, I just look at him and I smile and say, "Yes." You know what I'm saying? So growing up, I hated my name, and so it was like one of those things that when you get older and you actually realize like the uniqueness and the meaning behind things, it's like you start to learn to appreciate it more. So I was like, I'm not running from that no more. I am John Patrick. As much as I don't want people to call me that, as much as I don't like how long my name is and all this stuff, that's who I am, and I cannot run from that. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? So it's almost like those people who tell the joke on themselves before you can, so they can
mm,
feel better about it. That's kind of what I did with my name. I said, now I'm going to force everybody to call me John Patrick. That's gonna be my stage name. Like I'm accepting it 100%, and I have not regretted the decision ever since. People have told me like, why you want to go by John Patrick? I like Johnny P better. You should go by Sam Boone Kid and stuff like that. I'm just like, yo, my name is John Patrick. I didn't choose that. You know
mm.
what I'm saying? For some reason, I was called that. So that's what I'm sticking with. So I know that was a long story, but
Nah, nah.
that's my
It's
story.
your
That's how.
story.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
That
Man, I love it, bro. And like, bro, this is what we're here for. This is a podcast. This is a conversation. It's for people to get to know you and absolutely highlight every pinpoint of who you are and how you became where you are. And there's a few things that I really admired about just your story in general, man. Just the whole identity thing. I think that that is so huge for our population because we both work in the schoolhouse, or we both work with kids most likely. So
that
with that being said, there's a lot of kids that struggle with identity. There's a lot of kids who see us and see us as public figures or someone to look up to and be like, we like you like, but they don't understand it took a whole process. It was a whole lot of breaking down. It was a whole lot of insecurities, lonely nights, depression, anxiety, trauma. It was so much that had to come about this in order to get to where you see this whole idea of a person. And so,
fact.
you know, and so definitely, I definitely understand your situation and your story. And I think something that is very interesting to me is the whole thing where you talked about the American side or the black side
Yeah,
versus the African side, and those dilemmas,
yeah,
because it's a true thing. Like even for black people, we know that we catch hell all day for this exact reason. But for someone who is of Nigeria, that's from Nigeria, is a Nigerian native, but at the same time, you go back to the homeland, to the home team, and they're like, you're so Americanized. You are
fact.
just this Americanized African, so we don't consider you a full blooded Nigerian like the rest of us. When when you kicking it and you going to Lagos and all of that, it's like, okay, well, all right. So, but then you in America, and now you got the black kids who don't know themselves teasing you, talking about some African booty scratcher, or
Booty
you
scratcher.
just that African, like do them sounds that y'all be doing. You know what I'm saying? Yep. 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 It's always the little knock. So I'm saying, bro, like it's pure ignorance. That's what it is.
Fact. On both sides.
And you have to charge it to the game because it's pure ignorance on both sides, because one
Mhm.
side, they don't understand that we didn't have a choice from coming from Nigeria to America, so therefore this was opportunity, because if the conditions was way better there, I would be there. But because
Fact.
there's a different opportunity and different freedom over here, we are over here for that reason. But for a black child like such as myself, I can't even say, because you Jay, you know what I'm saying, JP, bro, like you literally, there's where you can say, okay, I'm from Nigeria, but more specifically, I'm from Lagos, or from wherever it is that
Enugu.
in,
I'm from Enugu.
Integral,
Enugu.
See, bro, like that's
En Enugu.
in Nugu. And see, look, bro,
Yeah.
like with that being said, bro, like that's just like the ignorance of me, because me being
Mhm.
the black American, you know what I'm saying, the person who can't really explain where I'm from, because of I never knew that, because I that identity was stripped from us due
Yeah.
because
Fact.
of slavery. So, bro, it's like, dang, like I got to go through ancestry.com to figure out where my
Facts.
and then it's like I don't even know if that's all the way completely accurate.
Real.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you know what I'm saying. So it's like we really don't know where we come from, and a lot of kids that grow up in the neighborhoods and black people. I feel like as black people, we would be more productive if we actually knew the history of us and knew the significance of us and knew what it meant to value. How your dad instilled a name into you and taught you your name is not John, your name is John Patrick. You have John it's in your name, but hyphen it's Patrick with it. So don't let them call you John. Don't let them just call you Patrick. It's John. You got to get the full package if you're gonna call me something. So if you're not gonna call it, then you better say the letters that of the first two names. You know what I'm saying? So JP. So you know what I'm saying. So I get that and I understand that, but I think that that's one of the biggest things with just people of our culture of Black Americans who don't have a significance in the name or will not be so take pride in that as much as we should,
Yeah.
or as pride in that because it's like everything is Americanized or it's been lost in translation. So, man, I definitely it's like woof that was like it went over there because I see it all the time, and there's people in different cultures that go through this as well. And
Mhm.
one of the weirdest things that I see because this happens in like of course like within the Hispanic culture, like if the Hispanics that's like American Mexicans or whatever, and
Exactly.
so they go to Mexico and I'm like, bro, you one of them the Americans, but and then vice versa. So so they have one of those situations too. And then one of the biggest things that I understand on top of having to battle, oh, you a Nigerian that's from America, but so you Americanized, or you African that's from Nigeria, so we gonna treat you differently because you're not originally from
Yeah.
Africa, or you're not originally from America, so we go X, Y, and Z. But
Yeah.
another aspect of it is colorism. You can get neglected for the skin tone or whatever it is, and we light skin this, dark skin that, so it's like a full complexity.
Facts.
And man, identity is so important. So with that being said, man, I think that was one of the key things that stood out to me within your story, but also just even how you, if we can do a compare and contrast type of thing, where you even when you left A Leaf, and you went to Richmond, it was almost essentially the same, not on the same scale, but essentially the same type of method. Like, oh, you don't move to Richmond, or you too uppity for us, or oh, you don't move to Richmond from A Leaf, or you a little ratchet. Like, so it's like, where's the acceptance? Where do I find my identity? Where do I find me? What lane do I fit in? And so there may be so many different kids
Ooh.
out there that identify with what you are saying right now, bro. And that testimony and that true story will impact so many different people. And I think it's so relatable. So man, whew, yeah,
That I felt that woof
yeah,
because it's deep. It's
yeah.
deep.
Mm-hmm.
It's deep.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Mm. Man, so first and foremost, you talked about your mom being a gospel artist and everything of that nature. So of course this it may be like a no-brainer to say that music is in your family and that it just runs through traditionally, but what made you actually start with the music?
It's like so. Even with that, I feel like my answers be complicated. But even with that, so my mom being a gospel singer, we naturally, me and my siblings naturally lean towards music.
Mm,
My dad, my dad couldn't sing, but he loved the music.
yeah.
So we always got like the good music from my dad, and my mom was actually the one performing it. So just naturally, just like any kid, you know what I'm saying, you seeing what your parents doing, you gonna pick it up. So
Mm-hmm.
even as a kid, we used to like my sister used to pen songs and like give us each roles, and like I would write the rap part, my sister would write the singing part for all of my sisters. My big sister would do that, and we would like go to my parents' room and like perform like a song we wrote for them. To the point where they started saying like, okay, we want y'all to do that song in front of other people. So they started making us do it in front of other people. My parents would have events, and they'll make us perform. So even as kids, we kind of always was like, and everybody else looked at us like, oh, you guys are probably gonna be stars one day. You know what I'm saying? Because your mom is already on this, and y'all starting this young. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot of pressure, and it was we were indoctrinated into it very early.
Mm.
To the point where as we got older, we kind of we got we kind of got over it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? We're just like, well, that's not. We did it so much that it was nothing to us. You know what I'm saying? Everybody would be so amazed, like, oh my gosh, sing that again or rap that again, and we'll just be like, is this special? Like, are we special? Like,
Yeah.
natural for us. We didn't work for this.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't put in no hard work. I be seeing videos of like Jackson Five. We all watch that Jackson 5 movie when they're like in the kitchen like working and they're getting beat and stuff. Our parents never put that pressure on us.
Mm.
We literally just spent our time making music, acting out plays, just doing like fun stuff. We was our own entertainment.
Mm.
It was five of us, you know what I'm saying? So we entertained each other. And so but it wasn't until we let it go, and it wasn't until I got to the eighth grade I really started doing like these parody and like cover songs about like songs that was already out. I would make like a remix to it, but like
Mm-hmm.
a stupid remix, like something silly.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was one for Britney Spears. Oops, I did
Yeah,
it
yeah.
again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So me and my godbrother came up with one and said, "Oops, I farted
Yeah.
again. Butt went kabam. I stank up my room. My butt went kaboom." Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or, oh baby, you got a disease and you say it's just a rash, but it goes halfway up your. And we was kids, so we were always like
Yeah.
that part
Yeah.
out, like literally.
Mm-hmm.
And so we used to do stuff like that to the point where my godbrother was really into it. And we just started making like these little catchy songs. We started going on Facebook and just doing like freestyles and stuff. And my godbrother started taking it very seriously. Shout out to my godbrother Sam. He started taking it seriously, and he saw this. He was a senior. He was no. I skipped a lot. In high school, I used to freestyle at the lunch table.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Freestyle at the lunch table. You know what I'm saying? Breakfast table. People would beat. You know what I'm saying? We'll just rap. I never really took it seriously. My senior year though, my godbrother created a tape called Easy Way Out, and he was pretty much saying, um, he don't want to go through the school route. He don't want to go through the corporate route. He don't want to go that. He want to do it through the music, and that's his easy way out. Like this is his way out, you know. And so it was very motivational for us that's looking at it like we applying to colleges. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And he was too, but it was like almost this feeling like he might really make it. He seems very like adamant about this. Like he's gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? So that motivated me. However, I always had this thing on my heart, like if I make music, if I start taking this seriously, I can't make music like how everybody else making it. Like
Mm.
I physically can, like I have the ability to, but I was the type of person I always wanted to do something different. I always wanted to stand out. I always wanted to be noticed. I always wanted to make an impact separate from what everybody else impact was. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't want to rap about these hoes and all this stuff and like selling drugs, and I was like, I don't want to rap about that. I was like, most of these rappers is lying anyways. So I'm like, if I rap, first of all, I want to be honest. So if I say I want a Bentley truck, I might say that, but do I have one? No, I would never say I'm riding around in a Bentley truck because I don't have one. You know what I'm saying? So for me, when I made that decision, I'm gonna try it out. I said I'm gonna be authentic. I'm only gonna say what's really happening, what's really real, and I'm gonna try to motivate somebody out there because music was my motivation. Like
Mm.
listening to music as a kid, I remember being in middle school. I don't care what's going on around me as long as I got my headphones in. And this is when we had the headphones like how you have the
Mm-hmm.
overhead headphones. As long as I got those in, I'm not worried about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like especially when the iPod came out and I got an iPod, I was like I was so indulged in music and playlists and the order of songs and stuff like that. I fell in love with it. But every time I was listening, I was like, this is the music I do want to make, and this is the music I don't want to make. And it was actually a artist named Lecrae that
Yep.
I found
Yep.
that showed me that I can still
Shout out to Cray.
I don't have to be corny and give a good message. You know what I'm saying? Because most gospel rappers I was hearing at that time, which I never wanted to be a gospel rapper because of them, was so corny. Like, you need to read your Bible and pray. If you don't, then you're gonna fade away. And I'm just like, I have to listen to this and enjoy this because they're playing it in church, and my mom isn't letting me listen to 97.9, and you know what I'm saying. But it was so corny to me, so corny, and I vowed to never be like that. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So but even then, even as a kid, we used to make songs for church. You know what I'm saying? We used to make songs to perform at church and for my the classmates that I had in church and in Sunday school. But when I decided, okay, I'm Johnny P.
mm-hmm.
My godbrother gave me that name, and I said I'm Johnny P. I had to decide what type of music do I want to make? Because my godbrother music was way different. You know what I'm saying? And I could have followed that route, but I was like, man, I'm gonna just go my route. And I love bars, so I gotta have my bars in there. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so that's where it started. It started my senior year. I was following along with my godbrother, going to these garage studios, going to these home studios, making like terrible edits. If you heard the first songs we was recording in the closet. We was recording on webcams. We was
Mm,
recording songs on webcams. Like just the mic is all we needed. You know what I'm saying? We was recording it like in a bathroom, just like just kids. You know what I'm saying? Kids that's starting to fall in love with the music. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? And we had big dreams. We had big dreams. We was like, we gonna make it because we're actually good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're listening to the radio and we're like, that's not good. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing a song and it goes snapbacks and tattoos, snapbacks and tattoos, snapbacks and tattoos, some cash rules. I still remember that song because that's how many times they played it on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a terrible song the first day I heard it. It didn't get terrible because it was overplayed. I knew it was terrible the very first day. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, we gonna make it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like we gonna make it because we already good. We kids and we good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like 16, 17, and we like we gonna make it. So we start looking at all these artists. This was like around 2012. So we looking at the Kendricks. We looking at the Wale's, Big Sean. We looking at and I'm talking about the people that's actually spitting. You know what I'm saying? The J Cole's, the Absols, J Rock, School, the whole TDE, Pro Era, Mac Miller. You know what I'm saying? RP him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The dudes that's actually spitting, but they swaggy though. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
they live. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like Lupe Fiasco. We didn't like the Lupe Fiascos because Lupe is like he try to get too deep. You know what I'm saying? Common, you old, you seem old from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? We try to we try to get with this new era of what I'm saying. I'm spitting something. I'm saying something, but it's real though, and I'm just live with it. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's where it started, and I dropped it. My first tape was one night only. Because I've been going about Juanito Boom Kid on the socials.
Mm-hmm.
Juanito Boom Kid Ramirez Jr. That was my social thing, but my stage name has always been Johnny P. And so uh, my tape was called One Night Only,
Mm-hmm.
and the success I got from that first tape, of course, it was local, but the success I got from that first tape was all the encouragement I needed to keep me here in this game, and that was 8 years ago,
Man.
and we here. I just dropped my last tape 2 weeks ago, so
Man.
yeah.
And let them know the name of the new tape that you just dropped.
Okay, so this tape is called Adolessons. People are having issues pronouncing it because it's spelled adolescence, as in like lessons learned. And the idea behind that was like it was like I know the identity struggle, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my biggest like not having to like live in extreme poverty or live in like a war zone or you know what I'm saying I didn't have those type of suffering. You know what I'm saying? I was suffering with my identity, like you said, that anxiety, that depression, that being in your room at night. I literally got start off a song saying I was sitting in my room at night crying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Fighting devils like Zion. Didn't think I could bear it.
Mm.
RJ was right beside him. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And that's me getting and the bar's gonna go overhead, that's cool, but
RJ
those just
Barrett. Yeah, I
connected
seen that.
right, you
Yeah.
feel me? But but that's me like going back to that time, like my struggle was my identity. Like, and I know some people like, boy, you had an easy identity, but that was a real struggle, and it got me
Hmm.
in a lot of trouble. It got me in a lot of places that I shouldn't have been in because I didn't know who I was, and it
Mm.
wasn't until now that I realized my identity was not in what nobody was saying or even what I could like put together. My identity was already established even before I was born. You know what I'm saying? Like the creator gave me my identity, my destiny. I just had to realize it in
Mm.
order to really, you know what I'm saying, get into it. So I realized my identity is in God. You know what I'm saying? I am God's child. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing else I want to be except that at the foundation. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting off with I'm God's son. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Everything else gets added on to that. And so the tape is adolescence, and it's pretty much me taking you through a story of my downfalls and the stuff that I had to kind of go through, not necessarily complete specifics, but just the stuff I had to go through in this identity crisis. And me also like coming from being a student at the school to becoming a teacher at the same school, me also having this rush of grace where like now I walk around with grace like I was just doing that. You good. Because
Hmm.
I made it out and I was just doing that.
Yeah.
So you're not ruined. Your life is not ruined. You know what I'm saying? That sucks. You know what I'm saying? That hurts.
Hmm.
But you're gonna make it out. You know what I'm saying? Or this kid is acting out, wilding. He's good. He's good. He's
Mm.
gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Like he just needs attention. He just needs love. He just needs nurturing. You know what I'm saying? And I can't say I'm gonna be the one to give you all of those things, but
Mm.
I know you need it. So because I know you need it, I'm not going to treat you as if you are doing what you're doing to me.
Mm.
Like F me. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to hurt me. You know what I'm saying? You're doing these things because you're battling on your own. You're battling your own identity. You know what I'm saying? You found an identity as a class clown, but you as a person are not a clown. You know what I'm saying? Like you just found that identity and you got comfortable in it. So
Mm.
now I'm speaking with the perspective with both sides. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what makes me also a great educator is because I can never forget the I can never forget me as a student.
Mm.
I can never forget that. So everything I do, I'm incorporating what I remember from being a student
Mm.
into now what I do as a teacher, and I'm at the exact same school. And I told God that I would stop music to do what He wanted me to do, and God told me He wanted me to be a teacher, and I said anything but that. And,
Yeah.
and God was like, no, 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 no. Like, I really want you to be a teacher. And I'm like, chill, please, come on, like lawyer, what is it? What is it? Accountant? Okay, I'll be that. He was
Yeah.
like, no, no, I need you in the classroom. And I ran from it. Kind of like Jonah ran from his mission. I ran from it until I was in the belly of the beast. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
I realized that's exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Mm.
So I ditched everything. I said, I'm gonna put the music to the side because this is more important, right? This is what I'm getting directly from God. You know what I'm saying? Who would know? This is 2 years later from okay, I graduated last year, but the year before that is when I really was going through everything I was going through to that would have made me even be able to become a teacher. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Who would know now I'm still dropping music,
Hmm.
dropped a video today,
Mm.
dropped a video today, and at the same time, I had class today as well, virtually, sitting in this exact same spot. This is my setup. I draw on this exact whiteboard. You know what I'm saying? I show my students my name, my last name, Egbo, and we didn't create an acronym for it. Everything's gonna be okay. It's the same thing that look at me, same thing that's right here. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So it's like I didn't know what God had planned, but I just obeyed it, just went along with it because I knew I was messing up and my plans wasn't working. And it got me to where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? Where people are texting me, literally getting texts right now, saying like this album. They're calling the album because that's, I guess, the what they're getting from me. What I'm putting off is like this is album quality, and they're saying this album is amazing. This album is touching me. This I can run this 100 times. Like
Mm,
you bringing me out of a dark place. This is inspiration. People sending me workout videos that they're doing to it. You know what I'm saying? And I
mm,
can only give the credit to God. I can only give the credit to God. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? And I never did this before, but on this project, I put it under Christian and gospel. I
mm.
put it under that, and I did that for a reason. Part of me was trolling, as far as like I know I'm not in that, I'm not in the complete gospel field, but at the same time, I wanted people to be able to distinguish the difference between what I'm doing
Mm,
and what is the industry is doing. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
People always tell me, bro, you could rap. Why don't you just make like a catchy song? Just talk about some nonsense just to blow. And I'm like, because I'm not here for the industry
mm,
at all. I know that works in the industry. I know that's a plan of success to make a lot of money. But
mm,
when it comes to my music, if they told me you will not make $1, but we're gonna fund all of your music, I would do it. The only reason why is because I know my music has the message that they need to hear. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
I get to deal with kids directly, but my music lets me deal with them indirectly. You know what I'm saying? You never know. I never knew. And it was that time. That's what I meant to say. When I dropped my first tape, and I know I just be talking for,
No,
for,
no,
for forever.
you good.
When I dropped my first tape, somebody messaged me on Snapchat. It was a girl I knew, but we didn't really talk like that. She messaged me on Snapchat and she sent me the link to one of my songs. She said, I love this song. I get that a lot. She said, no, really, I almost took my own life.
Mm,
But when I heard this song, I said, what does JP know that I don't?
mm,
What does JP know that's keeping him like this? How I know JP. How did he create something so beautiful? How did he create something so where did he find this passion from? And this
mm,
is this is my senior year in high school. So
mm.
we're young. This is a 17 or 18-year-old telling me this. You know what I'm saying? Telling me they're ready to take their life, but they heard my song.
Wow.
You feel me? So
Power.
now So now think about it. Two things. Who am I to ever say I'm done making music? First of all, who am
Mm,
I? I didn't give myself this talent. So who am I to say when I'm gonna stop using it? You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Second thing, who am I to spit rubbish on a beat when somebody is listening and hoping for healing, light, inspiration, encouragement, love, hope? Who am I to go on a track and say, I'm trying to make some money real quick? F these hoes, slap on their on our face,
mm,
run up a band and these thoughts and like who am I? You know what I'm saying? To say that gonna make me rich though. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? When all I needed was one person to tell me that this music, I can't even say this music saved their life. And what do? I direct them to where where I'm getting the music from, where it's funneling through me from.
mm.
God. You know what I'm saying? It's coming from the creator. That's where it came from. It didn't come from
It's
me. I
inspired.
know you're thinking, oh, this guy is special. Man, if only I was born with these talents. No, you were born with every single thing you needed to be born with. You're not missing anything. Listen to me closely. You are not missing anything at all in your life that you need.
Mm. Say that.
A lot of things that we want because of what the media has fed us for things that are good. The media has fed us what good fruit looks like.
Mm.
Bite into that.
Say
Just
that.
like the serpent. But the things that you need, you need. I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about nobody else. Everything you need is already inside of you. It's been given to you before you was even born.
Mm.
And you can be successful with those things. And all those things you think you want, you can get all those things, but you have to strip away the extra and go straight to the core of what it is, what you were born with, your natural talents, your natural the thing that gives you that righteous anger, the thing that upsets you, the thing that can keep you up at night, that'll wake you up early in the morning. Those things is the only thing you need. Everything else comes.
Mm,
Everything else comes with it.
mm,
Everything else comes with it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what I really wanted in life. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know who I really wanted to be. I didn't know if I want to be a rapper, if I want to be an engineer, if I wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, just famous. I didn't know. But when I got to the core of it, who am I? What do I have already? That's when it became clear to me. And this was not like an overnight thing. Don't think you're just gonna randomly figure it out because I still haven't figured it out. I'll be very honest with whoever's listening to me right now. Whatever you think I figured out, I haven't.
mm,
I'm figuring it out. But the one thing that I know for sure is that God is love.
mm. Say
And
that.
every time I show love, I feel God in me.
Mm,
I could either go around this world feeling devilish or human, or I can walk around feeling heavenly,
mm,
godly, angelic. I
mm,
rather feel like that. So every day I try my best, and I fail often, but I try my best to show love and only love.
bro.
And so if you listening, that's pretty much what I want you to know. And you have all those abilities inside of you. I promise you.
Bro. John Patrick, ladies and gentlemen. John Patrick.
Thank you.
Man,
Thank
hey,
you.
before we close it all the way out, man, let people know how
Yeah.
they can follow you, how they can get in contact with you, how they can cop the project and all of that.
Okay, so I'm gonna give the quick rundown. My stage name is John Patrick. That's my real name. That's my government name as well. So if you want to look for my music, you can look under John Patrick. However, I'm going through this whole legal issue with my previous stage name, Johnny P. All my old songs is on there, and I'm trying to get it converted over, but that's gonna happen. So Johnny P. or John Patrick to find my music.
Mm,
Socials wise, I still go by San Boom Kid on social.
mm-hmm.
And I'm saying San like SAN with a N, like no. San Boom Kid, like boom, like explosion. San Boom Kid on any social. You'll find me as San Boom Kid. The project is out on all platforms, Adolessons. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna listen to Adolescence. I'm just tell you. I'm gonna speak it into existence.
Say less.
You're gonna listen to Adolescence.
Mm,
You're gonna listen to Adolescence. It's gonna feed into your spirit, feed into your life. It's gonna plant a seed into your life, and it's gonna stir up something inside of you that's gonna make you want more if you don't already. It's gonna make you want more. It's gonna make you feel like you are worth it. It's gonna make you feel like you have a chance in this world. All
mm,
right. So anybody who feel like they don't, go ahead and just tap in and hear my story. You know what I'm saying? Which is not only my story, trust me, because when I make music, I don't only speak for myself. I speak for all the experiences that I've absorbed in my life. So listen to these stories, take it in, and then holla at your boy.
man.
I'm always willing to talk. Holla at your boy.
Appreciate you, my boy. Anytime you feel like you want to come on a podcast and let's just get into, another subject or even another topic, bro, you are more than welcome. You always gonna be, a light in the Green Light podcast. You know what I'm saying?
That's love. I'm sorry, I talk too much.
Nah, you good, fam.
I'm
Nah,
looking at
this
the
was
side like,
Nah, this
yo.
is needed. Nah, but bro, what you're saying is needed, bro. So what that and this comes into the identity piece. What you are saying, your words, your music is needed for this generation because we need that balance. People like you, people like Toby, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that type of music is needed because right now all they know is social media and these bands and these foreigns and stuff that they don't own. But bro, you saying something. So I applaud you, and I'm gonna always keep rooting for you. You from the home team, and bro, say less, bro. John Patrick, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. West up.
Cameron Green, ladies and gentlemen. Cameron
You
Green,
know what I'm
ladies and
saying?
gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Remember the names. Remember the names.
Yes, sir.
Man, I appreciate you. Thank y'all. I love the Green Light Podcast, what y'all doing. Let's keep running it up.
Man, say less, bro. Anytime. All right,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Yes, sir.